Imagine this. You possess an extraordinary gift, the power to heal someone from the inside out. It's not just physical healing, it's a profound ability to delve into a person's mind, uncover the root cause of their suffering, and eradicate it completely. It's like having a superpower, a rare talent to bring peace and relief to those in distress. Everything was going well for you, but one day, a stranger arrived at your doorstep, desperately seeking your help. As you begin to understand their plight, you realize that this time, the issue is far from ordinary. It's not just a matter of typical ailments or emotional scars. This problem harbors a sinister twist that transcends the bounds of normalcy, venturing into a realm even beyond the supernatural. What could this diabolical twist entail? What dark secrets and unimaginable horrors are hidden beneath the surface? Join me as we unravel this mysterious tale, delving deep into the unknown. But before we dive into this story, if you're new here, consider subscribing and giving this video a thumbs up. We're aiming for 100 likes today, so hit that like button if you enjoy the content. So the story goes like this. Ryley and her boyfriend, Brian, drove 12 kilometers to see Dr. Brady, a renowned somniphobologist. Now, you might be wondering, what is a somniphobologist? Well, it's a specialist who helps people overcome their fear of falling asleep. Anyway, back to the story. The reason the couple sought out Dr. Brady is because, for the past few weeks, Ryley hasn't been able to close her eyes without seeing something terrifying. Ryley describes that in her dreams, there's a ghoul stalking her, watching her from outside her door. Whenever she tries to confront it, the ghoul vanishes into thin air, only to reappear suddenly, leaping at her from some unexpected place. Every time it appears, it tries to harm her in some way. Ryley's experiences are so vivid that it's impossible to distinguish between dream and reality. Even more disturbing, the physical injuries she suffers at the hands of the ghoul manifest on her actual body when she wakes up. Dr. Brady asked Ryley if she could connect her dreams to any situation that might be affecting her on a subconscious level, causing these terrifying visions. Before Ryley could respond, her boyfriend Brian suddenly interrupted, displaying a clear lack of respect. It was as if he was only there because Ryley had insisted on it. During the conversation, Brian mockingly referred to Dr. Brady as a witch doctor and a voodoo magician. Dr. Brady calmly and playfully denied these accusations, explaining that he was simply a somniphobologist, not a magician or voodoo expert, and that he had stopped practicing years ago. He then added that the appearance of the ghoul in Ryley's dreams was likely due to some traumatic incident from her past, suggesting that they consult a psychologist instead. But Ryley pressed on, standing firm in her belief that the ghoul was real and that only Dr. Brady could help her. She explained that she had been suffering for a long time, with no one around her believing her and stigmatizing her as someone having a mental breakdown. Dr. Brady admitted that he was unsure how they had found out about him, as he was unaware of the rumors. He explained that he was currently out of practice, but out of courtesy, invited them inside and asked them to leave politely afterward. Ryley continued to plead for his help, her desperation evident. Brian, seeing her determination, asked her to show Dr. Brady her arms. When she did, they were covered in scars and wounds, as if something had brutally injured her. Seeing her dire situation, Dr. Brady apologized and asked for a moment to think about whether and how he could help her. As he contemplated, sipping a drink, Brian approached him for a private conversation. Brian's motive was clear. He believed that there is no ghoul and that Ryley herself is causing harm to herself. He wanted Dr. Brady to fake treatment and tell Ryley whatever she wanted to hear, like a pseudo-reassurance. Brian's continuous teasing and attempts to portray Dr. Brady as a quack made the doctor very agitated. However, Dr. Brady kept his cool and politely asked Brian to wait outside so that he could start Ryley's treatment. He assured Brian that he would do his best, but only if Brian stayed outside. Reluctantly, Brian agreed and moved out of the house. Once alone with Ryley, Dr. Brady began to prepare for her treatment, determined to help her as best as he could. Dr. Brady began with a story, a true account of a previous patient, an elderly lady who always heard strange sounds coming from her lawn in her dreams. Each time she checked, she found a zombie lurking there. Initially, it terrified her, but Dr. Brady's investigation revealed the underlying cause. Her only son had died in a car accident, which had placed immense stress on her mind. This stress manifested as the zombie, which was actually a representation of her son's body, haunting her dreams. Ryley, however, was confused by this story. She asked why he shared it, as she saw no connection. According to her, the ghoul was real, and the physical harm it caused her was proof of its existence. Dr. Brady explained that in many cases, people who experience similar events often have unresolved incidents from their past that trigger such manifestations, even if they have forgotten them. Ryley, still adamant, insisted that the ghoul was real. Dr. Brady explained that situations where dreams seem real are quite common. He recounted another case where a patient always saw a witch stalking him whenever he fell asleep. Later, it was discovered that the witch was a manifestation of a character he used to watch on TV as a child. The human mind works in mysterious ways, he said, registering traumas regardless of how old they are and projecting them as manifestations in the subconscious mind. Ryley, however, remained resolute, convinced that her experience was not a mere psychological phenomenon. She pleaded with Dr. Brady to believe her, because if he didn't, then it would be the end for her. So, despite his reservations, Dr. Brady decided to delve deeper, hoping to find a way to help her and uncover the truth behind her terrifying visions. Now comes the real twist. Dr. Brady reveals that everything Ryley is experiencing in her dreams is indeed real. Shocked by this revelation, Ryley demands to know how he knew and why he kept it hidden. Dr. Brady explains that it's a secret he must keep, and then discloses that he has a unique power, perhaps a mutation, that allows him to merge with someone's dreams. This ability enables him to see, live, and feel someone's dream as if it were his own. Ryley, now filled with hope, asks Dr. Brady if this means everything she sees is real. Dr. Brady responds, "Not exactly." He explains that these visions of ghosts are reflections of the real evil one encounters in their daily life. The ghosts aren't the cause of the trauma, but are manifestations of underlying issues. He reassures Ryley that once the root cause is identified, it will be easier to confront and eliminate these haunting visions. Dr. Brady and Ryley were deep in a tense conversation. Dr. Brady urged Ryley to focus on the root cause of her nightmares, rather than just the symptoms. Ryley, however, had sought Dr. Brady for his unique gift, hoping to finally be free from her suffering. As she touched Dr. Brady's arm, the lights began to flicker, and it seemed as though a door to a parallel realm had opened. Through the portal, the ghosts of his previous patients started to materialize before her eyes, including the ghoul from her own nightmares. Unable to comprehend what was happening, Ryley asked Dr. Brady if she was still in her dream. Dr. Brady, with a calm but serious demeanor, asked her how many times she had faced true evil. He explained that since childhood, he had experienced what felt like walking through hell, which led to his current ability to enter and experience other people's nightmares. Despite his fear and confusion about this gift, which he couldn't fully explain or diagnose, he felt compelled to use it, possibly as a divine purpose. Ryley, overwhelmed by the apparitions and Dr. Brady's revelations, realized the gravity of the situation. Dr. Brady's gift was not just a psychological phenomenon, but a bridge between realms, allowing him to confront and dispel the evil haunting his patients. This newfound understanding gave Ryley a glimmer of hope, knowing that with Dr. Brady's help, she could finally reclaim her peace. Ryley, desperate for help, insisted on Dr. Brady using his gift to merge with her dream and confront the ghoul tormenting her. Dr. Brady agreed, but made Ryley promise to stay in the room no matter what happened. As he entered her dream, he confronted the ghoul, eventually dispelling the terror. When Ryley woke up, she felt safer, though confused about whether Dr. Brady had actually entered her dream or simply made her believe he had. To which Dr. Brady replied that it does not matter whether he entered her dream or not. What matters is her safety and her mental peace. Later, Dr. Brady requested a private conversation with Ryley's boyfriend, Brian. He accused Brian of being a psychopath, explaining that psychopaths and ghosts share traits of deception and torment. Dr. Brady revealed that Brian had been abusing Ryley for years, using her trauma and nightmares as a cover for his actions. Despite Brian's attempts to deny it, Dr. Brady's keen perception, owned by his unique gift, made him certain of Brian's guilt. Brian, unyielding, countered by accusing Dr. Brady of being a quack who exploited others' vulnerabilities to pose as a savior. He claimed that the monster Dr. Brady accused him of being was in fact Dr. Brady himself. But Dr. Brady, resolute in his mission, was determined to make Brian suffer for his deeds, so he could understand the pain he had inflicted on others. Dr. Brady seized Brian's hands, and suddenly the lights began to flicker. The monsters from the dream realm materialized before Brian's eyes, inflicting upon him the same pain and suffering he had caused Ryley. The apparitions, fueled by Dr. Brady's unique connection to the nightmare world, exacted their vengeance, ensuring Brian felt the torment he had so long escaped. Dr. Brady's intervention ultimately aimed to free Ryley from both her literal and metaphorical nightmares, promising her a future where she could escape her abuser and live without fear, both in reality and in her dreams. This story of Ryley and Dr. Brady delves into the profound impact of unaddressed trauma, the intricate interplay between reality and the subconscious, and the severe consequences of abusive relationships. It underscores the critical importance of mental health awareness, advocating for the need to believe and support those suffering from psychological distress. The narrative also highlights the ethical responsibility to use unique abilities for positive change. By blending supernatural elements with real-world issues, the story advocates for confronting personal demons to achieve genuine healing and peace, emphasizing the transformative power of understanding and confronting one's past.
As we conclude our tale, I urge you to please like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Your feedback matters, so please share your thoughts. Until next time, stay curious and never lose hope. Thank you for tuning in.